What if the world's most famous painting simply vanished in broad daylight? No ransom, no warning, just an empty space on a museum wall, and a mystery that shook the world. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to Crime Through Time with Chris. Here we dig through history's strangest crimes, where greed, obsession, and genius collide. If you're drawn to stories that hide truth behind museum glass, hit subscribe and join me as we step inside the Louvre, where in 1911 one man pulled off the impossible and made the Mona Lisa disappear. And if you're thinking the words Louvre and robbery together in the same sentence sound a bit too familiar, didn't that just happen recently? You may well be saying to yourself. Well, you'd be right. But as we'll see, the theft of the crown jewels, which France is currently still reeling from as this very episode is being recorded, it's just the latest reminder that museums are not always as secure as they seem. Stay with us. The full story of art, obsession, and theft unfolds now. Paris, 1911. The city is alive with Belle Époque elegance. The Louvre Museum stands as a temple of art and culture. Inside, hanging quietly among thousands of masterpieces, is the Mona Lisa. Small, enigmatic, admired, but not yet the global icon she will become. Then on Monday, August 21st, it's cleaning day. The museum opens only to workers. One of them, an Italian handyman and glazier named Vincenzo Peruggia, wearing the white smock of a worker, moves among the corridors that he knows by heart. He's helped build the protective glass cases. He knows the guards. He knows that one door, slightly ajar, will be his exit. He lifts the Mona Lisa off its wall, removes it from its frame, hides it under his coat, and simply walks out, unnoticed, carrying what will become the world's most famous painting. The theft is not discovered for 26 hours, until a painter arrived to make a copy of it. I love some of the reported details in this case. Apparently the museum director, who was on holiday at the time of the theft, had boasted, "Steal the Mona Lisa? That would be like thinking that someone could steal the towers of Notre Dame Cathedral." The arts minister was also away, having ordered, "Don't call me unless the Louvre burns down or the Joconde is stolen." La Joconde is the French name of the Mona Lisa. Talk about tempting fate, eh? Panic. The museum is sealed, newspapers scream, investigations begin, with the officer in charge confidently, wrongly as it turns out, predicting the case will take only 2 to 3 days to solve. For 2 years, the painting is missing. An extra interesting fact is that Spanish painter Pablo Picasso was among the list of people arrested and questioned over the theft. Peruggia was eventually questioned at his Paris apartment by a detective who embarrassingly failed to detect the stolen painting was in the room where the interview took place. Not only that, but as he wrote up his report, he was blissfully unaware that he was resting on the very table under which Mona Lisa was hiding. Peruggia had left a thumbprint on the glass securing the painting, and his fingerprints and photo were in police files because he'd already been arrested before. But they forgot to add his name to the list of fingerprints to check them against. Finally, in 1913, Peruggia surfaces in Italy, offering to sell the painting to a gallery owner. After his arrest, he claims patriotic motives. He says he was simply taking back what Napoleon had stolen from Italy. Apparently, he was unaware the painting had actually been gifted to King Francis I by Leonardo da Vinci, the artist, when he became his court painter in the 16th century, only 250 years before the French emperor's birth. No matter, the Italian court believes his story. Also won by a psychiatrist who labelled him insane, and grants him an incredibly lenient sentence of just 1 year, 15 days, of which only 7 months were served before Peruggia was released on appeal. He went on to serve in the Italian army during World War I, and he spent 2 years as a prisoner of war after being captured by Austria-Hungary. He later married, had a daughter, and get this, he even returned to France to work as a painter and decorator. Peruggia died of a heart attack aged just 44 in 1925. Yes, exactly 100 years later, here we are again in 2025 with the Louvre in the headlines for a theft. But this one is a little less elegant. On the morning of October 19th, masked thieves disguised as construction workers use a basket lift truck, smash a window in the Galerie d'Apollon, and make off in under 7 minutes with 8 pieces of France's crown jewels. Historic emeralds, sapphires, royal tiaras. The haul is valued at more than 88 million euros. The museum closes for the day, investigations launch, heritage has been wounded again. And ironically, that haul is the very same one Peruggia himself could easily have taken a whole century earlier. 2 heists, separated by more than a century, yet linked by hubris, vulnerability, and the fragile guardianship of culture. The Mona Lisa theft taught us even the most secure institutions can fail. The 2025 jewellery heist warns we are still not safe. When art becomes myth, it becomes a target. When heritage becomes currency, its protection becomes urgent. The story of the Mona Lisa is not just about one heist. It's about how one act turned a painting into legend, and how 2 acts remind us that in the end, what we lose isn't just an object, it's our memory, our history, our pride. If you enjoyed uncovering this story, make sure to subscribe, like, and tap the bell icon, because there are more crimes, mysteries, and hidden heists waiting here on Crime Through Time with Chris. I'm Chris, and this was the robbery of the Mona Lisa.